Chocotorta is a classic Argentine dessert. It's usually made with chocolinas, a type of cookie that's basically just the chocolate cookie part of Oreos, and they're used to make what can best be described as a chocolate and caramel tiramisu. Chocolinas are very difficult to find in the United States, so last year when I made chocotorta for the first time, I decided to use Oreos. And I'm glad that I did. Honestly, I had been putting off chocotorta for a long time because I thought, you know what, how could something so easy, a no-bake Oreo dessert with cream cheese, be really good? But I must admit, I was very surprised. Even one of my followers said, for something so easy, this is incredibly delicious. One of my followers on Twitter, I'm talking about someone else now, she has made this like 3, maybe 4 times. It is incredibly delicious. If you want something that is easy, different, you want people to say, hey, what is that? Or wow, this is good, where'd you get this recipe? You're a good cook, you need to make this. First step is we are taking the cookies and we're dipping them into some coffee. So here I have 1 packet of, either you could use Oreos or some other type of chocolate cream sandwiches. I have, how big is the packet? Here I have 14.3 ounces. I have 2 packs because honestly I think some of them are going to be lost to quality control. And here I have 1 cup of water into which I put, I'd say 2.5 teaspoons of instant coffee. It's still steaming a little bit, but honestly I could put my finger in there and it's not hot at all. In this 8x8 casserole dish, I'm going to put down a layer of cookies and then I'll do the filling, which I'll show you. But first things first, the layer of cookies. You want to make sure that the cookies have enough of the coffee to make them soft but not soggy. So kind of like with tiramisu, there's a very fine line. But honestly, I think these Oreos are more forgiving than ladyfingers. So I think even if you're new to cooking, it'll be okay. So 1 to 2 seconds per side. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And that's what you're going for. And notice here how the bubbles are coming out when I put in the Oreo. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. I think a good rule of thumb is to keep it submerged until the bubbles come out. So honestly, I haven't made this in a long time and I think that 2 seconds is probably better than 1 second per side. But it's fairly forgiving. Now it's time to work on the filling. The filling for this layered Oreo and cream cheese dessert is 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese and 1 13.4 ounce can of dulce de leche. If you've never had dulce de leche, it's a type of milk caramel from really, I think almost all Latin American countries, but in my mind I associate it with Argentine food more. I just feel like it's used more in that culture than in others. It's really delicious. If you like caramel, I can guarantee you that you will like it. There are different types of dulce de leche. There's a thicker type, which is this dulce de leche repostero, and then there's also a runnier type dulce de leche común. So if you can drizzle it over ice cream, that's the runny kind. If it holds its shape like this, when you dig into it with a spoon, that's repostero, and that's the kind that you want for this, because if you want to be able to slice this like a cake, it needs to be the thicker kind. So all I'm going to do first of all, this 8-ounce block of cream cheese has been warming up. I actually forgot about it. So what I did is while I was setting up for the video, I boiled some water and turned on the oven and put this near, I actually put the cream cheese on this lid and put it near the boiling water at the back of the stove so that the heat from the water and from the stove would help soften it. And I mean, it could be a little bit softer, but I'm satisfied. I'm gonna add in the dulce de leche. And you could use a mixer, a beater or something, I suppose, but I'm just gonna do this by hand. I'm gonna mix these together. And I'm not doing this up close because it's easier if this is down on the counter. Like I said, if the cream cheese is really soft, this is easier. It's also easier if you use, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Neuchâtel cheese. It's basically reduced fat cream cheese, which is good. But I decided to splurge today and use the full fat kind. The only difference I've noticed is that with Neuchâtel cheese, it's easier to mix, and then if you slice it, it doesn't hold its shape as well. But other than that, I think it's basically the same. I almost forgot something. I realized that because I have 2 packs of Oreos, I can actually fill in these holes. If you have one 14.3 ounce pack, you should be able to have 2 layers of Oreos and then with a few left over to sprinkle on top. But like I said, I have 2 packs, and as you can see here, the Oreos are round, but the dish is square, so there are some holes. I'm gonna fill those in. I'm gonna break the cookie into fourths, and then squeeze the fourths into the gaps between the cookies and the side of the casserole dish. It's been a few minutes since the Oreos were dunked into the coffee, so by now they're a lot softer than you would think. So squeezing in the smaller parts of cookies isn't hard at all. You might be tempted to leave the cookies in the coffee for a little bit longer than I did. I would say, like I said, 2 seconds each side. They will get softer as they sit, and if you just leave them in the coffee, then they will eventually, if you leave them in the coffee until you think they're soft enough, that's when they're actually too soft. That's what I'm trying to say. I apologize if I come off as kind of unorganized with this video. This was a total spur of the moment thing because I have been doing a lot of healthy recipes lately, and I know I'm kind of a dessert guy, and I'm gonna be honest, it is February 14th and I have not had any type of dessert since Christmas. Is way too long. And I said, you know what? I am going to treat myself. I'm going to have some dessert. I've just been busy with life and busy with everything. And when I make dessert, I like to be able to take my time and make a nice video for you guys, and to just sit down and slice a big piece of cake or pie and have a really big fork and just sit down at the table and just really enjoy it in peace. That's what I really like. And I haven't had time to do that. But I said, you know what? Chocotorta, I haven't had that in a year. I deserve something sweet. I finished filling in the holes, and I also finished mixing together the cream cheese and the dulce de leche. And now I am going to put that on top of this bottom layer of Oreos. I'm going to put half. If you want to be exact, you could use your food scale, but you know what? I'm not going to do that today. I know I do tend to use a food scale to be exact, but for me today, that's just too much quilombo. And I know the filling has a few lumps in it, but that is okay. This is supposed to be something easy because, like I said, I have not had dessert in a long time. So literally all you have to do is put it on top like this. I like to, where did my spoon go? I like to put little dabs here and there and then take my spoon and spread it out like that. In Argentina, chocotorta is actually something that a lot of kids make at birthday parties. So everyone will get to the party at the beginning and then you'll make chocotorta and then it has to chill for, I think, 3 hours is what I usually do. And then 3 hours later, when you're ready to eat it, you eat it. And so it is an activity at the party. And as you can see, it's really easy. If you've never cooked before, you want to cook with your family or with your kids, make something different, this is definitely the thing to make. The reason why I did little dabs here and there is that because these Oreos are soft now, if you just put all the filling into one corner and try to spread it out, you'll probably break up some of the Oreos. But this way, I don't have to spread it that much or as much. If you are new to cooking and you do not feel comfortable putting salt in a dessert, that is fine. But most dessert recipes, they have a little bit of salt. It helps to both accentuate the sweetness and it just does a lot of things. So what I like to do is I just sprinkle a little bit of salt over the layer. Trust me on this, I have not lost my chef hat. Putting a little bit of salt in this Chocotorta de Oreo is going to be really, really good. So now for the second layer, I just do exactly what I did. The first layer, I set about 2 seconds per side. One good thing about Chocotorta de Oreo, Oreo Chocotorta, is that you can play with the flavors. Last year I made a mint version with mint Oreos. That was really good. One of my followers on Twitter, she used caramel coconut Oreos, I think it was. So honestly, I think you could let your imagination run wild with this. I tried a lemon version, but it's still a work in progress. Once I get that perfected, I will let you know. But the mint version was definitely delicious. I will put a link below. I did it last year. Last summer, I think I shared it. And it was definitely delicious. If you like chocolate and mint and caramel, you will like it. But honestly, I think of the versions I've tried, the classic Oreo Chocotorta is still the best. That's how a lot of things are. You can experiment and it's fun to experiment, but the original, the classic, is the best. So I'm going to finish this, and since I have the other package, I'm going to fill in the gaps and I will put on the rest of the filling and then I will show you what comes after that. The Chocotorta de Oreo has been in the refrigerator for a little over 4 hours and now I'm ready to serve. I just realized that I forgot to put a little bit of salt on the top layer, so I'm going to do that now. And as you can see, I crumbled up some Oreos over here I had 6, I crumbled up 3. There were some others, but those were lost to quality control. And actually, what I realized is that cookies and milk is a lot better than I remember it being, because I have not had cookies and milk in multiple years. And it's amazing how something so simple can be so good. So I've decided that I'm going to have my slice of chocotorta. One of my slices of chocotorta. So I'm going to have several, probably right in a row, with a glass of milk. I just finished putting on the cookie crumbles. I'm not going to let it sit. I'm going to dig in. I took some pictures for social media, and I really like how it looked, at least from the side, when I filled in the holes, because like I said, normally there are gaps between the Oreos, but this time, since I have 2 packets, I could fill in the holes, and I think, at least from the side, it looks more complete, so I'm really excited. I'm sure you can hear the furnace humming, and I know it's odd. I'm eating a cold dessert on a very cold day in Siberia, but I think this would be perfect for summer barbecue or picnic, because like I said, it's really easy to make, really unique, really delicious. Honestly, enough talking. Time to dig in. This Oreo Chocotorta was amazingly delicious. Honestly, I'm trying to see if I can compare it to anything that's common in the United States, but I really can't. It's really unique. What I think makes this Oreo with cream cheese dessert so good is a combination of flavors, which help to balance out a dessert that you would probably think would be extremely overly sweet. Dunking the Oreos into coffee helps to tone down their sweetness, and mixing the dulce de leche with cream cheese results in a nice sweet and tart combination, similar to a cream cheese frosting on a carrot cake or a red velvet cake. The combination of textures is very nice as well. The softened but yet still firm cookies, the cool, smooth filling, as well as the crunchy, crushed cookies on top. For something so easy to make and with so few ingredients, the flavor and texture is amazingly complex. In fact, when I gave a slice of the mint Oreo chocotorta to one of my friends, he said it was really good and a lot better, and not just better, but a lot more complex than he thought it was going to be. So, if you're looking for a no-bake Oreo dessert with cream cheese that's not only good because it's sweet, but also good because it's complex, and is more than just a mouthful of sugar, like unfortunately a lot of easy no-bake desserts in the United States and other countries are, then this Oreo Chocotorta is for you. If for some reason you have leftovers, you could definitely freeze them. However, make sure you have extra cookies to crumble over the top because the freezing thaw process might make them soft. If anyone makes this chocotorta, please let me know. And if you do any experimenting with other types of Oreos, such as carrot cake or red velvet, I'd like to hear how it turns out. I know it's been a really long time since I've done a dessert, so if you've been anxious for one of my dessert recipes and you really want to try something, make sure that you give this chocotorta no bake Oreo dessert with cream cheese and dulce de leche recipe a try.